What's up guys, time for another week of the Daily Grind with me, John from the Killer Bits, and a decent cup of coffee. Yes, we actually have some news today. It wasn't like the slow news day we had on Friday. There is actually stuff happening, and I thought we'd jump straight into it. Obviously, if you are in chat, do let me know what's going on. If there's any news stories you want me to chat about, I will stick them at the end and we can have a discussion. But first of all, it's Just Cause Week, and I'm really disappointed because Square haven't sent us a copy and everybody else is getting to play it, and I'm sad. Anyway, I suppose I should just be happy that I haven't got it on Xbox One, because apparently, once again, Xbox One players are going to be suffering. Somebody has been doing some testing. NX Gamer has had a copy and has been running tests on it, and apparently, unfortunately, the Xbox One version can dip to as low as 17 frames a second. As you can see in this footage, it's holding kind of alright at 30, but because Just Cause 3 is very much a destruction physics sandbox type deal, when shit gets crazy, the frame rates drop significantly. And there you go, you can see it goes as low as 17, 18 frames a second on the Xbox One. And there's also issues with apparently he said if you've been playing for like an hour or so, if you try and reload a save, there are huge memory leaks and it can possibly take up to 15 minutes to load back in. So yes, it looks like Xbox One users are going to really suffer if they've got hold of Just Cause on the Xbox One. I don't know if I'm having issues with drop frames or not. Do let me know if the picture's conking out or if it's just my connection here. Yeah, because I'm wireless on the monitor. Right, what else have we got going on? Yeah, this lead segues in nicely. So obviously Xbox One is suffering, but apparently this came out on Friday, I think it was. Sony are looking at unlocking the 7th core on the PS4, and this is basically to allow developers more access to the processing power of the PS4, and hopefully allows them to create better games. Obviously, since the start of this war with next gen and things like that, it's current gen now, but whatever. PS4 was kind of in the lead for a long time. Recently, Microsoft have pulled it back with some games, and also they've managed to kind of get some parity with the kind of the hardware and the speed and technology and that. Mainly because they unlocked their 7th core. So both systems are running, was it a AMD Jaguar 8-core processor, and basically 6 cores were given over to basically running the games, and then 2 cores were for system. So when that came to the Xbox One, that also included stuff like the Kinect and things like that. Since they kind of pushed Kinect to one side, it freed up more space in the processor for developers to actually use that 7th core, which allowed Xbox One to catch up a little. They're still lagging behind, as you can see in Just Cause, and a lot of the recent releases, it seems to be it's running at 1080 on PS4 but 900 on Xbox One still. And Sony have announced now that they are unlocking their 7th core, so obviously they'd had that reserved for running the system and that, but now they're unlocking it for developers. Basically their new developer kit came out, and people going through it found there's a note in the kind of changelog type stuff that says PS4 added fmod thread _core 6 to allow the newly unlocked 7th core. So obviously this is starting to take effect, so we're not going to see an immediate change, but potentially in a year to 2 years time we'll start seeing PS4 once again pulling ahead of Xbox. And obviously that's going to be a plus for the bigger games coming out tail end of next year. I'm trying to think of what specifically, especially Sony's own properties, what might that affect? I mean, potentially it could affect what the PS4 version of Tomb Raider is going to be like, because obviously that is slated for holiday 2016 because of this kind of first party deal that Microsoft have done, and basically got the exclusive rights for that kind of first year on console. So does this mean it's going to look even prettier on the PS4 coming years time with this more processing power behind the PS4? So we'll have to wait and see. But I thought that was an interesting story, in the fact that Microsoft had just clawed a little bit back with the Xbox One, but it looks like Sony are pushing ahead again with the PS4. Okay, carrying on. If you are watching the show, just do let me know in chat if there is anything, and just say hello, whatever. Yes, Metal Gear. This has been knocking around for a while now. Pretty much since the game came out, people discovered there was a hidden ending. Very much Kojima, very much the way he deals with stuff. There are little Easter eggs and hidden things. But apparently there was a hidden ending that people worked out what it was supposed to be for and how you got to it, but they'd never achieved it. Well, it looks like we're getting closer. If you don't know what this hidden ending was, it was basically a way of doing nuclear, completely disarming all the nukes on the servers. So basically, worldwide nuclear disarmament. And people found this ending, but they weren't sure how to do it. There's been like lots of almost ARG mini-game type thing going on, especially on Reddit. People trying to do mass nuclear disarming. There's also been the other camp that have been trying to fully nuke everyone and to prevent this ending happening. But it seems like it's getting closer, especially as Konami seem to have got on board and said, look, this is how you do it. And they've given instructions on how to completely disarm the world of nukes. And it basically involves doing this. You have to complete Mission 31. You must not own or currently be developing nukes. Certain conditions relating to nuclear proliferation on your regional server, and all nuclear weapons on that server need to be. So basically, everyone needs to get rid of their nukes. So we are getting closer, because last time I looked, they are doing on their official Twitter, on the official Metal Gear Twitter, there is an update on how many nukes there are on each server. And as of 6 hours ago, actually I'll refresh this page to see if there's a new one. So yes, as of 6 hours ago, November 29th, PS4 there was 188 active nukes, PS3 140, Xbox One 52, 360 there's only 35 nukes in the world, and on Steam there's 11,473. So we know what the Master Race are all about. They're all about the nuclear proliferation. So yes, but it does mean that potentially Xbox 360 owners, the ones that have been playing on that, playing Metal Gear Solid 5, may be the first people to actually unlock the ending officially. So with only 35 nukes to disarm, I can see that happening within a couple of days, if not a few hours. So by the time this video goes out, there might have been an update, and we might actually have full a nuke-free Metal Gear. So there you go. This has been banging on for a while, but we're almost there. There is almost a nuclear-free Metal Gear. Scutman in the chat, the stream is buffering a lot. I had no idea of that. Just Twitch often struggles to watch smaller streamers. Yeah, I'm not partnered, so I don't get priority, unfortunately. But no, it seems to be... there doesn't seem to actually be any drop frames. I think it was... where I was getting it, I think it was just my Wi-Fi for my laptop was having trouble. Then again, my laptop is having trouble. If you've been following my Twitter this morning, yeah, I've been struggling with... I think the hard drive's going, so yes, not fun times at the moment. I think I'm going to be struggling to do any recorded content this week because... yeah, I think my laptop's on its last legs. Has done like 5 years, so it's really reasonable, you know, on for 18 hours a day, 365 days a year. So, yeah, I think it's all right. Moving on. Yeah, another new little bit of additional content. Obviously, Rocket League. I said about this last week. There was new add-on of the new arenas, and obviously we got the ice hockey thing happening. as of December the 1st, there is a crossover, well, kind of linking up with Valve and Portal. We're getting kind of Portal skins in Rocket League. So what is the additions? There's a cake topper, conversion gel rocket trail, a propulsion gel rocket trail, repulsion gel, aperture laboratories antenna, cake stick, companion cube, as you can see here, personality core, and a potato OS antenna as well. So that it's just little skins and antenna mods and that. But it's nice to see. Yeah, everybody seems to have taken Rocket League to heart, and the fact that Valve are getting involved in allowing kind of the license and special Portal skins, it is always nice. But I thought that was just a nice little story to add on. What else have we got going on? Okay, for the Souls fans out there, this is very much rumour and speculation. A tweet appeared, I think it was on the official, I think it was a FromSoft's own Twitter. Let me have a look. What was it? No, not that one. There you go. The official Bloodborne Twitter account. This picture appeared showing Demon Souls with lots of Bloodborne. And that got a lot of people wondering, why show this? Is this possibly a lead on to maybe we're going to see Demon Souls remastered for the PS4? And that's what a lot of people are speculating, saying potentially, are we going to see a PS4 remaster? Obviously, last week I reported that Miyazaki and From Software had said they were kind of tired of the Soul series. They loved what they're doing, but as of Dark Souls 3, that is pretty much the end of the Soul series. So I can see it being quite conceivable that that would be a PS4 remaster. Obviously, Bloodborne is selling well. The Old Hunters DLC, what was it, last week? Yeah, it's all selling well. So I can see there being a real potential for a remaster on Demon Souls. So yes, that is just rumour and speculation, nothing confirmed. But the way it was leaked on the official Twitter kind of gives the impression. But then it is just people reading into the fact that Demon Souls appears with a load of Bloodborne discs. But who knows? Who knows? This is rumour and conjecture hour, whatever. So there you go. Potential of a Demon Souls remaster for PS4. Talking about companies kind of trying to reinvigorate their IPs. Jagex have announced today it came out a couple of days ago. They are getting into the card battling arena. They are releasing something called Chronicle, the RuneScape Legends, which is basically a CCG, which is based in the RuneScape world. And I haven't read much details on it. I've just kind of caught a few bits and pieces this morning where I was looking for news articles. But a lot of people are saying it plays a lot like Munchkins. But it is following the trend of every game now seems to have some sort of card game, mini game in with it. Because obviously you go from stuff like The Witcher 3 has its own card game within it. You got Hi-Res's new first-person shooter, which has a card mechanic in it. So lots of people are jumping on this kind of tabletop card mechanic type idea within the digital realm, and basically lending their own IPs to this idea. So yeah, obviously RuneScape has been going for donkey's years now, so I suppose this was a logical step. I mean, another logical step would be to have some kind of tabletop version, and a lot of games are doing that. As I reported last week, there was what was it, Banner Saga's done it, XCOM's done it, and then This War of Mine announced last week they're doing the tabletop thing. So yes, it seems to be card games, tabletop games are a big thing, and it seems to be what a lot of game companies are jumping on with their own digital IPs. So yeah, another little interesting story. As I said, there was news stories today, but nothing that's going to blow anybody's socks off. I think the PS4 thing is probably the biggest thing, and that happened over the weekend, essentially. Oh, this was another one of those stories that leaked from people advertising jobs. Apparently, the astronauts, the creators of The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, which I have to say was an incredibly pretty game. It really was. I mean, it was essentially a walking simulator. There wasn't a lot of interaction. The mechanic of seeing back in time was quite cool, but the major thing about it was just how gorgeous it looked. Anyway, the astronauts, the developers of that, have been advertising for a job position. It's essentially for a new AI programmer, but in with the description for the job description was details about they are actually working on an open world game. So the astronauts are obviously starting development on their new property or new game, whatever, and it is going to be an open world action adventure game. They've stated it's not going to be action adventure in the same way as, you know, Shadow of Mordor or Assassin's Creed, but they are saying there is going to be combat, there is going to be you fighting monsters and men. I'm trying to find the exact quote. It'll be rad, but of course we're not going to bite off more than we can chew. Anyway, the suggestion in the description, this will be more of a game than an explorer like Ethan. Although we still have heavy atmosphere and deep narrative, can't talk. It won't do without men and creatures trying to kill you. So there is going to be more of an action element to it. It's not just going to be a straight puzzler. But I can still imagine it's going to look incredibly good because they are, I think they're using Unreal Engine 4 for it. So they're not going to 5, but they're using Unreal. So it is going to look pretty, whatever it is. But I still stand by, even though it was a little, you know, not quite that deep, it did look incredible, and for a small indie team, I thought Vanishing of Ethan Carter was a fantastic game and highly recommend it. And if they are continuing work and going in a different direction, more an action thing, I can't wait to see what they managed to come up with. Anyway, what else have we got? I'm going to need more coffee. Oh yeah, Mastertronic. Again, this came out tail end of last week. Mastertronic, which is a indie developer, publisher, distributor, mostly publishing distribution, is basically calling in the administrators. Mastertronic have been going for 30 odd years in some sense or the other. Originally, they basically amalgamated companies like the producers and sold out, merged them, but Mastertronic as a brand has been going for 32 years apparently, and you may have heard of some of the games they've done in recent years. They've helped kind of do the publishing and distribution on games like Foul Play, which was the co-op brawler where you were like English gentlemen on the stage retelling the tales of fighting in weird and wacky worlds and all that. It was very kind of tongue-in-cheek, very fun. Other stuff like 10 Second Ninja was helped publish by Mastertronic, and what else was there? The Kitty Powers game from 6 months ago. Kitty Powers dating sim thing, which was again very tongue-in-cheek, very humorous style on the kind of typical dating sims, but it made you what was it, an agent on at Kitty Powers dating agency, but you could kind of create your own avatar that would be sent out into the world. Yaki actually did a video on that. It is very funny because he ended up almost dating himself. I'll put the link in for that. But yes, sad news that Mastertronic are actually going out of business, called in the administrators, and the head honcho, I think it's the MD Andy Payne, it will no longer be involved. So he's basically stepping down, and it's probably going to be one of these. I can see the company being sold and stripped of assets, and a bit like THQ. Which again leads me nicely onto my next story. Yes, this I read about this morning. Apparently, information about this has obviously been knocking around since THQ disappeared. But the guys over at Do You Know Games, and Unseen64 put together a fantastic little kind of mini documentary on what would have been an Avengers game, a first-person, team-based Avengers game, which was supposedly going to come out about the same time as the first Avengers film, and it was going to follow Captain America, Thor, Hulk, and Iron Man as a four-man team fighting off a Skrull invasion. It was supposed to take... It took a lot of its cues from the Secret Invasion storyline in the comics, and would have you fighting Super Skrulls with, you know, powers from heroes within the Marvel universe. There would be other characters that would show up. It would basically end up with you fighting the Skrull Queen on her mothership that had docked in New York and that. But it does look incredible from what these footage is, and the concept art as well. It does look like a lot of love was put into it. It was being developed by THQ Australia, and from what I heard in the documentary, it was basically, it was in a fairly finished state. It was going to be out for PS3 and Xbox 360, but because THQ made some bad decisions with games and that, they basically ended up losing money, and this was one of the first studios that got shuttered whilst they were trying to stay afloat. But apparently this project was fairly a long way along, and it was actually employing the services of Michael Bendis. If you've been watching Jessica Jones recently, he is the creator of Jessica Jones, and was also a key writer on the Secret Invasion, the key plot lines for that. So yeah, do go check out that documentary. It's well worth a watch. I think it's like 10 minutes long or something like that, but yes, definitely check that out. I will put a link down below. It is just really interesting to see what could have been in this Avengers first person game, because it was pitched as the first time they would have done a superhero game that was first person, because there were tons of third person ones, and Marvel kind of lost a taste for it when none of them really succeeded very well. So this could have been something a bit different that could have been very interesting had THQ been able to stick around and not gone under. But unfortunately, that is how the history of video games ends up. You know, there are games that have disappeared into the ether that we will never know whether they were any good or not. But from the footage I've seen, it did look like it was quite a cool concept that you could play as Thor or Iron Man. It was very much a team-based thing. You'd have to kind of cooperate. Each member of the team would have their own particular powers that would help interact with others. You know, Thor could stun enemies, and Tony could come in and buff people with tech from the Iron Man suit and things like that. So yeah, it did look like a very cool concept, but we will never know. Anyway, so yeah, that is pretty much it for today. I'm going to refresh the Metal Gear thing again. I just want to see if there has been nuclear disarmament. No, we haven't disarmed the world yet. Not yet, anyway. So there you go. That is the news for today. Once again, if you're in chat, do let me know if there's anything you've spotted that you want me to chat about, or if you're watching the VOD of this, obviously you can let me know in the comments or on Twitter if there's anything you want me to talk about tomorrow. Here every day, hopefully as long as the text stays up, every day at 3:30 UK time, which is 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 in the morning for you guys out in Pacific. So it'd be a morning cup of coffee for you guys. But yeah, do let me know if there's anything you want me to chat about. What's happening with the channel this week? As I said, my laptop is struggling, so I don't know whether I'm going to be able to do the regular recorded content. I'm going to try, but I'm just a bit wary. I'm doing lots of backing up at the moment and making sure nothing goes kaput too soon. So potentially there may be thin offerings from me. I'm going to try and at least do first impressions for Wednesday, because I have come across a fantastic little indie game. It's a demo at the moment, but it is fantastic, and I do want to do a video on that for you guys. So hopefully that will be there for Wednesday, if my laptop doesn't smolder and die. This evening, you will be able to see Fran's You Choose video, which was, rather than you choosing a particular game, it was Binding of Isaac, and you guys got to choose what character Fran played as, which was Lilith, I think. She did a Lilith greed run, so do check that out at 7 o'clock tonight. If you want to see what we did last night, it's there. We were playing Worms Armageddon again. Again, one of Fran's favourites, as she kept repeating throughout the episode. Yeah, we had a lot of fun in that, and yeah, it's Worms. You know what's going to happen. There's going to be misfires. You're going to blow yourself up. But yeah, we had a lot of fun on that, so do check that out. What else have we got planned for this week? I don't know. I'm all over the place. I will try and stick with the daily schedule for the daily grind, so if you do want to see this, as I say, come along to Twitch at 3:30 or 10:30 in the morning, whatever, wherever you are. Notifications will go out. Your best bet is to follow us on Twitter, and you will hear what we're doing, what's planned, and when I'm going live with this. Other than that, if you want to follow us on Facebook, you can do at facebook.com/thekillerbits, or if you want to support us, believe me, I'm going to need it if I'm going to have to get a new hard drive. But if you want to support the channel, you can head across to Patreon at patreon.com/thekillerbits, where all you have to do is maybe chuck us $1. It will help us out. It will help with the running costs and things like that. Other than that, if you're watching this on Twitch, do go across the YouTube channel, check out the videos there, and do consider subscribing. If you're on YouTube at the moment and this is your first encounter with us, hi, thank you for coming along. And if you're interested in seeing more of these videos, do subscribe and share it with your friends. Like the video. Anyway, I rambled on long enough. Nobody seems to be chatting in chat, so as I say, if there is anything you guys want me to talk about, let me know in the comments or on Twitter, and I will chase that up for tomorrow. Other than that, I will leave you to the rest of your day, and I'm going to try and get this video up as soon as possible. So, alright, catch you later, guys. Bye!